Ebola Marshall Law. Ebola Marshall Law. So today we're going to be talking about, as you guessed, Ebola Marshall Law. And today is Tuesday. It's about 9:17 p.m. It's October the 14th, I believe. Yep, we were watching also a little bit of baseball, just so you know, I wasn't watching. The Giants won. But we're going to be talking about Ebola Marshall Law. And some of the questions that go along with it. What is it? A little bit about government theater and this new order that they're trying to establish, and what I recommend in the end. But we're going to be covering real quick what the Ebola Marshall Law is, to give those who are unaware or who aren't paying attention a little information. So here we go. So right up here, and on this site right here, it's called Mail Online. I noticed that it has how Ebola victim Thomas Eric Duncan's organ slowly failed and he begged to be put in a diaper as he lay dying. So right off the bat, this is all about, fear, big time fear. And one of the other things right here is this right here, AO Online. This is the 666 mark. And you can look in it. I was looking, noticed it the other day, and it's some kind of hieroglyphic or some kind of old language. And so it'd be 666 Ale Online. It has some of the tiger, the information with the kind of like a crest. I don't know about the crest, but you see this, and I recognize that right there because I seen it on the monster. And like the marks, it goes like this. It means the 6 in there, whatever that language is. And so we're right here. We see the Ebola victim. It said that he was begging for his life. And it's showing us a picture right here. So we see this guy. This is out. This is one of the things about government theater. And like I said before, you're gonna have to see Rick's or RG Richard. My name's Richard, but see my video on how to spot government theater, fake video. A lot of times when you see it's so messed up like this, you can see right here. Another thing, that this is part of their theater, because when you have images, see how they're, even at low quality, still decent to see. So if this was his apartment, more than likely, if that was really his apartment and he had Ebola, or the way they're saying it, they totally would have, all of a sudden the whole place has to go quarantine or whatever, burn it up, and it wouldn't even be there. And so right here you see, yeah, they have seats, but that's not, I'm talking, like a 25-mile perimeter. See, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I was just checking inside. Yeah. So now we got something right here on his time of death, from landing to death. Line of Ebola's first victim in the USF. So this is trying to say that this is the first victim. His name to me sounds like it's their code, their secret society code. And for those who've been following me along, they have a secret society code. It has a lot to do with their ISIS. ISIS also has to be the name of their drug for Ebola that they're selling. Go figure. And Obama has, in the news and a bunch of other things, has proclaimed himself, so has some of the stars, that he's the ALS, whatever it is, Antichrist, Lucifer, Satan, whatever it is. And everybody who's done the water challenge, that they have baptized themselves and they're willing to be sacrifices for this Ebola. And one of the biggest one that's coming out now is they're saying that Robin Williams, which I was watching today, video of him, and he was one of their sacrifices. So, and continuing with the first victim of Ebola, let's take a look at this. And so, he flies out of Monrovia, Libya. I don't know if that's Libya. It looks like Liberia, kind of like liberated. And on the 20th, he experienced symptoms on 4 days later, which doesn't make sense. If they had this virus. A virus is like a cold. Within contact, you start feeling it. And as I said before in my other video, this Ebola sounds like, and they have developed it. Obama, Bush, you know, their group has developed this, and it looks like it's from the cobra venom. So let's take a look at this. Duncan starts experiencing symptoms, then he goes to the hospital, and this is to beat up the Presbyterians. And I believe this is a religious group that even in the Muppet movie is saying the Presbyterians are, they're protesters. They're saying the press is by Tyrians, which is totalitarians, and it is. Our whole press is full of shit. On the September 25th, symptoms worsen at home. Then he goes to the hospital, and all of a sudden, like, he goes to the hospital just for vomiting, and he can't be sick of anything else. So they warn CDC it's an Ebola case. So right there, when you see something like this, 10 or 9 days later, then he asks for diapers, and this is part of what we're starting to see. It says that whatever he had eaten almost as food poisoning. That's why the first thing I would think would be food poisoning, not Ebola. But it has the similar symptoms of food poisoning. And as I was saying before, the clues are telling us that they're either giving it to us in water or trying to, or they're going to do something. And they've been doing a lot of things with our water, like underground tunnels that we're unaware of. So, and also they put a story out there about bath salts, and to try to get people not to use salt and bath salts. And that may be the cure. If this guy had something in his stomach, we all know an old remedy is a lot of times they'll give somebody, big old glass of salt water. And the salt water would go in immediately, it'll cleanse it out, and he'll spit it out, and it'll kind of push all the toxins out. But this is something to look at right here. So, then from here, he wants to change his mind. He thinks he gets better, then it got worse, and then, from here it's, he dies. It says right here, in his family, including his mother, come to visit him, he described it as like a mask. His face was like a mask. Some say it looks dead already, a mask. So basically whatever this is, it's affecting the face. And this could be exactly like a toxin, like I had said. And it said that closed circuit camera. So we need to see this right here. This is what's going to prove to us the bullshit or not. This closed circuit cameras, and this should be open to the public. So that goes on with here. His name is Duncan, and his name is Thomas Eric Duncan. So this is probably something that they have that we should pay attention for in their keywords. On the second one, I put right here, but the family of Eric Thomas Duncan says his death from Ebola is racially motivated. So they probably suspect something, as I do, which sounds like it doesn't really real. It sounds like that this guy died, and basically Thomas Eric Duncan, that his death, they're saying, his family saying that it's racially motivated. So I'm saying too that it's probably somebody had put that out there. They used him as a guinea pig. This is, like I said, once again, this is Bush's group. This is Obama's group. They're trying to get power, and they're trying to control things. They have it from there, and we'll show you a little bit more of who they are. And I'll tell you what the word on the street is out there. But they're the ones that I think they're saying this is, they're obviously suspecting that this doesn't sound right. Somebody's behind this, and I think so too. So here we see, and this is another thing too. This is the second clue that makes me think right here. Rainbow push headquarters to call for foul on treatment on Mr. Duncan received. Right there when you see Jesse Jackson and he's at his Rainbow Push headquarters. So the Rainbow Push, so immediately you've got this political religion behind, saying, hey, look, this victim sacrifice. The rainbow is in line with this Obama administration and also with this other group, the Satanic Welshers for Ra. Ra in the bow. They're saying that Ra is the sun god. You know, Lucifer means light. The god that's saying, or the angel saying of light, follow the light. Lucifer. The Nazi symbols also mean the sun and light. So right when I see that, I'm thinking, bingo. You know, you got immediately this push of this religion. You know, like that whole ISIS thing. You know, everything says vote on noon or no on something. It's really saying vote noon, no on noon, right? So I mean, it's through religion, through fear. You know, we're gonna scare you. You know, believe, believe it all. Okay, hold on. So right here we got the headquarters call for foul treatment. Mr. Duncan received. The treatment was incompetent, worse, radically motivated. Now this is just a beat up on the Presbyterian Church, and there's nothing wrong with the Roman Catholic, the Presbyterian Church. These all people, whether they're been, you know, they don't know aware of whatever their lineage is, these people are God-fearing people. The same thing with the Catholic Church. All these other people that are religious organizations that aren't practicing the satanic, Luciferian, you know, we're going to offer our kids up to Baphomet. You know, Baphomet has his fingers like this in their statue, but it's really like this. You know, they promise. And, you know, the people that sold their souls for fame, they all have been redeemed. And the reason why I say that is because they're out trying to help. And those who haven't, obviously, you know, I don't know what to say to you or to them. They obviously really wholeheartedly believe in the devil or Satan or Lucifer or whatever it is, and they, you know, they are part of this problem. They're part of making they're part of the sacrifices. They're aware that there's gonna be millions of people that are gonna die in this, and they're aiding it along, and they're trying to direct, you know, trying to direct the masses. Oh, it's not these guys, so there's never any blame. So that's something to pay attention to. Now, I'm going to put it back over here, and so this is just, you know, a beat up on them. And then we have these different people that are coming in from the CDC. They're guilty, and some of these other people that are not directly responsible, they're really guilty. And so right here, Eric Thomas Duncan closed circuit video. So in kind of looking at this, I started searching for Eric Duncan closed circuit video. And when I searched for that, and we're going to stop right here, we're going to have a couple different parts of this series. We're going to call it The First Victim and Who to Blame. On this series right here, so I looked for the closed circuit video or any video to kind of, you know, try to have them prove what they're saying. There is none. If this guy had closed circuit video, then it should be out there and we should be able to see it. I think that that's going to really help, you know, prove or not prove. And right now they're just trying to, you know, push fear, scare everybody to do what they want. And as I explained earlier, there's a word on the street, and common sense is if somebody you to think about for the next video is the common sense that the people are aware here that are in the know is that these guys are out to kill Americans, our government officials, and people that are helping them are just out to kill Americans and American families and kids. So right off the bat, that should tell you something. I can tell you, and as I said, I'll say it, and later on what the word on the street is out there. So that'll be the first part of our series right here on Thomas Eric Duncan, first Ebola victim, and who to blame, and what's going on. We will continue on the second video.